Hello, Team 61. This is Miss Hazenwinkle here. Hope you guys are doing well and had a great weekend. For this week's assignment, we will be doing a digital escape room to help us wrap up our decimal ops with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. For our digital escape room, there are a few attachments to this assignment that we will be using. The main one at the bottom here is our directions for the escape room. So let's click on that. It's going to take us to, I'm not gonna read through each of these for you, just to show you and go through a little bit of it. So for the escape room, this direction page explains each of the 4 different challenges. So we have a challenge. First challenge is long division. Second one is add and subtract decimals. Our third is multiplying, and our fourth is dividing. So I would take some time either to read the directions as you solve each challenge, and then revisiting when you move on to the next one. So let's look at this first challenge, long division. It's a 5-digit lock. The first step says to open the long division lock escape room. So we're going to go back to Google, our classroom, go down to the bottom. If you notice, we see one that says long division lock. So we're going to click on it. It's going to take us to the Google Slides. And I'm going to go back to directions just to make sure I have it all. It says complete all 5 long division questions in the challenge. Make sure to show your work and to pay attention to the color box in each problem. To unlock the code, the students must collect the digits that they placed in each color box and put these digits in order of the colors of the rainbow. So that's a key hint. Red is the first color of the rainbow, so the first digit of the code will be the digit in the red box. So we're going to go back, and it says, again, we have the directions here, and we're going to solve each of these. So we're going to divide it, and you're going to put in your work here. So for example, 58 cannot go into 9, so we would put a 0 there, or they just left it blank. But 58 can go into 94 one time. So if I click on there, I'll put the number 1 in there. And then this is how I can show my work. So I'm going to go through all that division. If you notice, there will be a number with a purple box. So again, that number will be a key number later on. So we would go through and solve the rest of these problems, paying attention to the number that is in the color box. And those 5 numbers would go with our first lock code. So if I go back to our Google Classroom, this first attachment will be where we're going to insert our guesses for the lock code. So when you click on it, it takes you to a different tab. And again, there's just directions here. So if I look, it says long division 5-digit lock code. It says pay attention because it gives a little explanation here. No spaces or comma between digits. So let's pretend we thought our 5 digits were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is correct, when you click off of it, it would stay green. But since it is incorrect, it turns red, and it will give an exclamation point with a hint. So digits in the order of the rainbow. So these numbers might be correct, but it's telling me I need to rearrange them according to the color of the rainbow. Again, that means we'd have to pay attention to the colors that they were, boxes they were in. So if I got this correct, it would stay green, and then I would need to move on to the next challenge, our add and subtract decimal challenge. So if I go back to our directions, I can read through them. So I need to open the escape room and complete the 8 questions in the challenge. So go here. We did the long division. There's the add and subtract. It says the directions again. So we're going to solve these problems. And it says if your answer is correct, the cell will change color. So if 60 was correct, the cell would have changed colors, but it is not. Do that math. 34.5 plus 56.8. I think we're going to get, let's try 91.3. Since that cell changed, that means my answer was correct. So you're going to solve all of these problems, and again, correct answers, the box would change a color, and then it says use the first letter of each color name to solve this lot code. So red is the color of this box, so I would use the R as one of the letters in lot code. When I think I have them all, I'll go back to where we're going to submit them, and it says we're going to use all caps. So I want to make sure the cap box is on. We only know the first one so far, but capital R would be our first one. We continue on. This is a, did the directions say? This is an 8-letter lot code, so we would solve the 8 problems. We're going to continue on the multiply, so let's just go through to see what we do for that one. Click on it. There are 9 multiplication problems. You would solve each one, so 6 tenths times 91 hundredths. The product is one of these numbers. If you do not see one of the numbers down here to go with your product, that means you made a mistake and you should go back and redo the problem or look back at your thinking. Let's say we think the answer to this problem is right here, 9/10. I would put the letter there, so an R in there, and it will eventually spell out a word. This word will be our code for our multiply decimal one. And then our last one, which is our division. For this one, there are 4 problems. You need to find the quotient, the answer to each of these problems. And then you're going to take the oval and you're going to put it over the answer that you believe is correct. Then you're going to use the 4 letters that are associated. So if I thought this was the answer, sorry guys, E would be the letter that I'm paying attention to, and then for each of those. Then you would take those 4 letters and you would plug it into our answer to C. Now, once you have all 4 codes in and they're all green, you'll hit the submit button and it will take you to a new page and it'll have a message for you. What I want you to do with that, if you've escaped, I want you to tell me you've escaped, and what you will do is you will come back to our assignment. You will, on the assignment, there's a spot for you to leave a private message. So this message only goes to me. I want you to tell me what message you saw on the next screen once you've submitted and you've escaped the room. Then make sure you turn in the assignment. That allows me to know that you are ready for my feedback. And one other helpful thing we have down here is this graphic organizer. So this assignment might take you a few days depending on how much time you put into it each day. But here's a spot where you can record your answers or your codes that you've kept. So let's say on Monday I did long division. I'm going to put my code there so I don't forget it when I come back and work on this on Tuesday. So this is a spot where you can save kind of your codes. So when you're done with all 4, you can put them into submit. I will be able to see your work on here because I have each of you making your own copy. So as you're once you finish, you submit it, and I can come take a peek at your work. I hope this was helpful. If you need any help or any directions, please let me know. We can set up a Google Meet that I can walk you through some of it. We can, you can message me, you can email me, whatever you need. I hope this is kind of a fun activity, something a little different that we haven't done. You guys are doing awesome work. I've been impressed by how hard people are working. I know it's a different type of learning. We're not used to it. But keep on rocking it out. Let me know if you need anything. Miss you guys. And I look forward to seeing you escape.